Shalom. Call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the men that I learned this truth from, stout with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Barakatham to the hopefully elect. And just back with another quick video. I'm going to go through this fairly quickly because pretty much, man, a lot of stuff a lot of these articles that are coming out, man, is pretty much, just repetitive, you know, being that Joe Biden, man, he's tackling this pandemic, um, you know, aggressively. He's pretty much using warlike tactics and whatnot. So a lot of the same precepts, for the most part, man, are coming out. And like a lot of the apostles and elders say, man, a lot of this stuff, it's pretty much, man, you're just being repetitive. But nevertheless, man, because one way or the other, the warning's going to continue to go out until Yahweh Bashim Yahushai says otherwise, you know. So just like I said, with this article I had queued up, it says Biden summons troops to help with the Novid vaccinations, expands DPA. And just getting right into it, it says Biden is also reportedly planning to expand his use of the Defense Production Act, also known as the DPA, to include supplies needed to make rubber gloves and masks. The order harkens back to the hectic days of the early pandemic when PPE was in short supply at American hospitals. The Biden administration will use wartime powers to significantly increase the supply of rapid at-home and point-of-care COVID-19 test. A move some experts say could go a long way in slowing the spread of the virus. Because for one thing, man, dealing with this pandemic, man, being that, like I said, or like it's been said before, being that this pandemic, man, is the perfect ploy, for them to usher in, their goals and agendas and things of that nature. So, they'd be a fool to let up on this, and with that being said, hopefully they don't let up, and with that being said, all right, because again, just expect more restrictions and lockdowns and things of that nature, right? This guy Joe Biden, man, he's really coming in the spirit of which I'm going to get in First Maccabees, right? But basically, what you're seeing with this guy Joe Biden, man, the dragon speaking like a lamb, you know. They're talking about all this, this stimulus checks and whatnot, right? Monthly payments to homes and families and things of that nature, and again, man, because it's going to be to their detriment, because being that the scriptures talk about how a gift destroyeth the heart, and basically people, it's like basically Biden is pretty much going to, pretty much, man, people are going to end up selling themselves short. They're going to end up selling their integrity, in order for them to get down with this whole beast system, right? That's well, pretty much, man, the mark of the beast, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. That's the end goal, you know. And this guy Joe Biden, man, well, like I said, yeah, I'm gonna get it in First Maccabees. I don't want to jump the gun. Let me read on. Um, where's I at? It says the act will also be used to rapidly surge domestic testing capabilities, investing money in 6 suppliers to produce 61 million at home and point of care tests available by the end of the summer. According to Tim Manning, the White House COVID-19 response team supply coordinator, the country is well behind where we need to be on testing, particularly the rapid at-home tests that will allow us to get back to normal activities like work and school, Manning said. And on another note, because because I know out there in the UK and maybe other places as well, haven't really looked into it, but definitely out there in the UK and even places here in the States, some places they're doing home to home, they're going home to home, for the elderly, to get them tested and vaccinated and things of that nature. and like I said, because it may seem, like a good deed or whatnot, all they're helping out the community and stuff like that, but little do these simpleton Babylonians know, all right, um, because again, being that if they have to use the military, I mean, that in alone should be like a red flag, you know, whenever they have to deploy the military to, you know, to do anything or whatever the case may be, that should be a red flag. But like I said, being that these simpleton Babylonians, all right, I mean, they're just lost in the sauce, man, at the end of the day, and, at the end of the day, man, they're going to get caught out there, you know. But it says the DPA will also be used to increase the supply of raw materials and everything from vaccines to surgical gloves. While some in the media question President Trump's rhetoric about counting on the military to handle the national vaccination effort, even though soldiers were largely deployed behind the scenes anyway, as the NYT once reported, they remain seemingly supportive. As CNN reports, the Biden administration is expected to copy President Trump's rollout plan and deploy 1K plus soldiers to assist with the U.S. vaccination effort nationwide. It says the plan reportedly calls for the troops to form into 5 teams to travel to designated sites around the country, presumably areas where healthcare systems are most understaffed, overwhelmed. The orders are expected to call for the troops to be ready to deploy within 4 days. The mobilization follows a request from FEMA to the Pentagon to provide military assistance providing vaccinations, anything to meet President Joe Biden's goal of vaccinating 100 million Americans during his first 100 days in office. All right, so because not only do they have the American military pretty much already deployed throughout, now they're bringing in the FEMA, which Biden, he talked about bringing in activating FEMA to help out with the vaccination efforts, right? And on not only that, but on top of that, all right, because part of Joe Biden's plan to tackle this pandemic, head on, all right, included in some of his speeches, he included how he was going to pretty much open up more sites for these, these vaccination sites, right? Because pretty soon, man, you're gonna have, there's gonna be vaccination sites everywhere, man. Your local pharmacies, Walmarts, and things of that nature. And now they're talking about um, like certain stadiums, sports arenas, and things of that nature that they're gonna, start turning into, these sites, for where people can, get these vaccines and whatnot. Which, if you have the spiritual eyes, the eyesight to see, how pretty much that's going to turn out into, because, like it's been said before, man, expect to see more of a military presence. All right. They're bringing the idea of, what is it? Because like in certain places they have for people that the Novid rule breakers, right? To where basically, man, if they catch you with um basically, man, if you break the rules once, you get a fine. Second time, or first is a warning. The second is a fine, and third, you're gonna get pretty much locked up in one of these quarantine centers, pretty much these detention centers or whatever they're calling them, right? And that's in other places like in Germany, but nevertheless, all right, because again, they're definitely gonna bring that over here, all right, because like I said, with these sports arenas and things of that nature that they're gonna start using for these vaccination sites and whatnot, all right. And even with more so, because like with Joe Biden with the whole face mask mandate, right, and public transportation and things like that, all right, because slowly but surely, man, like I keep saying, man, because a lot of this stuff is repetitive. um, slowly but surely, man, they're going to start putting the squeeze on the people in the society, more and more to get them to bend to their will, because one thing is going to lead to another, and then you're going to have the revolts, the uprisings and the tumults, right? The protests and the rioting. This is why, again, they with the military. This is why they are using the military. But like I said, because people are these simple Babylonians are too lost in the sauce to pretty much connect the dots and put the pieces to the puzzle, because they're so gone, you know. But again, because one thing is going to lead to another, and they all these surveys are coming out about how majority of the people, man, they're not going to take these vaccines, with all this information coming out. You hear about the censorship with Facebook and Twitter, so on and so forth. Because even now, Facebook, I just saw something yesterday about how Facebook is they're going to really crack down heavy on misinformation concerning, I believe it's, I don't know if it was about the vaccines or it was something along those lines. But basically, man, because again, man, and again, on another note, because, of course, that's stuff like that, man, is going to lead to the famine of the word, Amos 8 and 11, all right, which that's around the corner. All right, but like I said, man, one thing's going to lead to another, man, and people are too simple to put the pieces to connect the dots, But let me just see what this. Read some more of this article, see what it says. It says U.S. Northern Command in Colorado Springs is expected to coordinate the deployment and decide exactly which troops will go where. This could potentially include active duty personnel in addition to more National Guard troops. Many members of the Guard are already deployed across the country, but this deployment has nothing to do with that. Yeah, right. Because like I said, they pretty much already have the U.S. military deployed throughout, but apparently it has nothing to do with with the Novid. But we'll see. It says White House Novid-19 senior advisor Andy Slavitt confirmed Friday that part of the group will begin to arrive in California within the next 10 days to start operations in the area around February 15th, with additional vaccination missions soon to follow. While CNN reported 1,000 troops, FEMA and the Pentagon had discussed calling in as many as 10,000 troops, and it's still possible the final tally might be closer to that number. The ultimate goal, according to CNN, is to have the military ramp up vaccinations to 450,000 a day. There's already a separate National Guard deployment across the country. There are over 20,000 National Guardsmen deployed providing Novid support, including at over 216 vaccine sites in 36 states and territories, said Max Rose, Novid senior advisor to the Secretary of Defense. All right, so like I said, man, get ready to see them more and more of these troops, man. America is more and more going to become a more militarized, policed state. All right, and like I said, because in certain places, even over here in the States, man, they're going door to door, just providing test kits and things of that nature, and even with to help out with vaccines and whatnot. All right, but like I said, eventually one thing is going to lead to another, man, and because like I said, a lot of people they're not going to take that shot, man. They're saying the hell with it, and being that this is something that this is something that you're gonna have to get, man. Like I said, man, more and more they're gonna put the tight squeeze on the society. All right, because sooner or later, man, eventually employers are gonna start requiring these for you to take these shots, right? So be prepared to lose jobs. Certain venues, you're gonna have to provide papers and whatnot. You might just be out and about, and you might have some military troops, some FEMA troops roll up on you and request to see your papers. Your what do you call it, the immunity papers, because they're already talking about to fly to different, for international flights, you're gonna have to have the immunity pass and whatnot. You're gonna have to get the jab. In order to fly. I don't know if it's said domestically, but definitely internationally. And they already have it set up to where people coming in from international flights, man, they have to quarantine, they have to get tested and things of that nature, right? When they get here, they have to a mandatory quarantine, and when they leave or before they leave, they have to, if I'm not mistaken, because definitely it's when they get here, they have to get the test and quarantine and all that. But I'm not sure if it's when they leave as well, they got to get the test and it being the same process. I'm not sure if it's the same process when they leave, but definitely when they get here, you know, for people that are traveling internationally, you know. But yeah, man, well, let me finish this last paragraph. It says the U.S. isn't alone in mobilizing its military. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson was reported to send troops to British schools to help with the back-to-school effort before he ultimately decided on moving ahead with the latest UK lockdown. So the media remains quietly supportive of troops being utilized on American soil to help with vaccinations, as Biden continues to follow President Trump's plan for vaccination rollouts. All right, so nevertheless, man, expect to see more, and expect this place to become a more of a militarized um, landmass. So let me just get this real quick, because like I said, dealing with Joe Biden, man, he's coming in the spirit of, like I said before, man, the dragon is starting to speak. Where is it at? Jeremiah 18. And with that being said, all right, let me just read this real quick. Jeremiah 18, and I'll read, start at verse 22. It says, let a cry be heard from their houses when thou shalt bring a troop suddenly upon them. For they have digged a pit to take me and hid snares for my feet. All right. So basically, man, all right, because, we're coming into a time of a lot of lamentation and mourning. All right. Because like I keep saying, man, life as we know it, man, or the old life that, being able to just go out and pretty much do what you want, that's done away with, man. All right. And this is going to be the new wave of things, not being able to, go out, just go out freely and do what you want, man. That way of life is done. It's done. you know. And again, expect more and more of a military presence. And with that being said, all right, because you're gonna have checkpoints and stuff like that. All right, a lot of places, man, you're not even gonna be able to enter into business establishments if you don't have your, I'll just say, your papers, your immunity records or whatever, whatever, you know. And like I said, man, because life is about to get real difficult. Life is about to get real uncomfortable. Just looking out your window and seeing military presence. You might see someone's home get raided. You might look out your window and see your neighbor get raided, their house get raided, right? See the whole family just sitting on the lawn, and while their house is getting spoiled and whatnot. Not knowing if you're next. Or you can see another family getting questioned on taking the vaccine. You might have some FEMA troops trying to get your neighbors to take the vaccine, right? And they refuse, and you might see them get hauled off, right? Or whatever the case may be, man. The possibilities are endless. But nevertheless, all right, the days are coming where, again, I'm gonna read verse 22 again. 22 again. It says, "Let a cry be heard from their houses, when thou shalt bring a troop suddenly upon them." All right, and them FEMA troops, man. All right, and all these different foreign troops that are going to start coming over here to the Americas. It says, "For they have digged a pit to take me and hid snares for my feet." And hid snares for my feet. All right. So again, this is the times that we're coming into. you know. And again, you know, being that, hey man, you might look out your window, man, and see something going on, and you know, um, questioning and wondering, hey man, it could be you. Are you next? You know, might see people start bugging out because of you know, the tribulation that's getting ready to come. You know, or the tribulation that comes when it does come. Right, seeing this type of stuff. You know, because people, man, they're used to um people are comfortable, man, and once you take that from them, right, they like I said, man, these simple Babylonians, they don't know how to handle that. They don't know how to handle that type of pressure, you know. And like I always say, man, you know, these people are about to find out, man, that your quote unquote rights, all right, the constitutional rights or whatever, that's going to be null and void. All right, that is just a piece of paper that you're about to find out it means nothing. All right, because that's what people are still going to stand on when that time comes. All right, my body, my choice, and all that crap. That's about to go out the window. All right, but let me get this last in First Maccabees. All right, because and even some of the elders that I watch, man, they've said it, you know, and it just makes sense. But let me get it. First Maccabees, and I'm gonna read verse 20 just to get this point. It says, and after that Antiochus had smitten Egypt, he returned again in the 143rd year and went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude. All right, now just to get the point that this being Antiochus, all right, and like I was saying, because some of the elders even brought this out with this guy Joe Biden, man, because he could very well be Antiochus in the reincarnation. You know, when you read it and study, you know, this individual, this character. All right, and you know, to see the similarities and the characteristics of this guy Joe Biden, man, it just makes sense because when you jump on down, all right, because this guy Antiochus, man, he put hell on the children of Israel. All right, um, just trying to get to the point. Jumping down to verse, matter of fact, I read verse 24. First Maccabees 1:24. It says, and when he had taken away, and when he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre, and spoke very proudly. All right, so you see, man. All right, this guy, Joe Biden, he's coming in that spirit of unity, right? You know, everyone coming together, standing together to fight this pandemic or whatnot, right? You know, speaking peaceable words like Esau, you know, Esau, man, like he does. Matter of fact, let me see if it's because I might have jumped down too far. Because again, this guy Antiochus, which I'm reading about, you know, he came in that same spirit, all right? Spoke good words to the children of Israel, right? You know, had Jake all buttered up or whatnot, but then what happened? So no, I was on point. So let me jump on down again. Matter of fact, I'll just read on down. Verse 25, it says, therefore there was great mourning in Israel in every place where they were. Because also on another point, going back to verse 24, all right, because again, being that when you look at Joe Biden's track record, right, he has a history of basically being a racist, right? When you go back to the crime bill, you know, Joe Biden was a part of that. You know, part of that, you know, being that a lot of Jake getting locked up and whatnot. Joe Biden was a part of that. He was basically an open racist. You know, um, but again, you know, because Jake is about to find out, being that Jake thinks that Esau is their friend. You know, and even more so Joe Biden, man, they think that Joe Biden is for them. When they're going to soon find out, and this is why great lamentation is coming to the children of Israel, to 2/3 of Israel. Verse 25, it says, therefore there was great mourning in Israel in every place where they were. All right, going back to what I read in Jeremiah 18:22, right? Looking out the windows and you know, crying out loud, and you know, seeing the hell and the tribulation and the discomfort that's coming, right? It says, so that the princes and elders mourned, and virgins and young men were made feeble, and the beauty of women was changed. Every bridegroom took up lamentation, and she that sat in the marriage chamber was in heaviness. And these are the times that we're coming into, man. We're coming into some real heavy times, man. The hour of temptation. All right, because like I said, man, being that sooner or later, man, all you're gonna hear about is these vaccines. Your job's gonna require it. You're not gonna be able to shop. Do a lot of these basic stuff, man. Just going to the grocery store. And even if they don't do it with the vaccine, so to say, either way, it's gonna come down to their with the chip, with the microchip, when they come down with the microchip, one way or the other. And again, because like I said, a lot of people are going to end up selling their integrity, selling their soul, so to say, right? Because they're going to end up, bowing down, man, and getting down with Esau's program, But nevertheless, all right, if you're in the right frame of mind, man, it's not worth it, all right? If the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shah is dealing with you, man, or dealing with us, all right, we're not going to take none of this shit that Esau offers. Nothing that he gives out there. But in verse 28 it says, and the land was moved for the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion. All right, so you see, because again, be that a lot of you Jakes put your trust wholeheartedly in this open races. All right, you're gonna find out soon, man. And when Esau shows his true colors and Joe Biden shows his true colors, all right, a lot of you are gonna be in that state of confusion, like what the hell is going on? Here it is, we voted for this man, and you're talking about all the stimulus checks and all this, bringing back jobs and all this other stuff, right? What's going on? Why is he doing this to us? And that's the state that a lot of you Jakes are gonna be in. All right. Verse 29, it says, and after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude. All right, that burning wrath of a multitude. That what does it say? Burning wrath of a great multitude. In 2nd Ezra 16, right? Them troops, man. All right. Verse 30 says, and spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. So you see, like I said, just like during the time of the Greek Empire, man, and during the time of the Maccabees, like I'm reading with this guy Antiochus, all right, and like I said, it makes sense that this could possibly be Joe Biden in the reincarnation, because like I said, what is this guy talking, man? He's talking peaceable words to Jake, man, and Jake's falling for it. Jake's getting all buttered up, right? But it's all deceit, man. It's all in vain. And again, this is why Jake is going to be left in that state of confusion, man. This is why they're going to be wondering what the hell is going on, And by the time they realize this stuff, and it's going to be too late, because like I mentioned earlier, you're going to have the famine of the word. It's not going to, these videos aren't going to be up. Brothers aren't going to be out there in the highways and byways, right? And that's why the warnings is going out, man. Like I said in the beginning of the show, man, this is why the warnings, nevertheless, the warnings going to continue to go out until Yahweh Bashim Shai says otherwise. Because like I said, like I keep saying, man, a lot of this stuff is repetitive. And when you look at a lot of the precepts, man, and the scriptures, man, a lot of the prophets, what they were saying, man, a lot of stuff was repetitive. Because Yahweh Bashim Shai always gave people ample time to, get it right before it's too late. A lot of this message that's preached, man, the prophets of old, they were repetitive. They said the same things over and over and over, right? And pretty much the message has been the same since the very beginning. Going way back in the book of Genesis, man. But that's that, I mean, again, because that's not a coincidence. So no one's gonna be able to. No one's gonna be able to argue the point that they were never told, they didn't know. That's not going to be an excuse. All right, because Because oftentimes I talk about, how this message has been going out for 30 plus years, starting with the head apostle Tahar and all the apostles and elders on down. But really, like I said, this message has been preached since the beginning, since Genesis. So you really, no one really has an excuse to say, well, I didn't know. No one told me. Because the scriptures talk about how this truth flourishes. This truth has flourished throughout the earth, man. Everyone knows about the Hebrew Israelites. And that's why you got a lot of people, man, trying to make this thing like it's a fab or some trending fab or whatever, which is not. All right. And this is where people are going to get jacked up, man, because this when you come to this truth, man, you got to be dead serious with it, because this is not something to take lightly. The words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is not to be taken lightly. But like I said, this is why a lot of Jacobs are going to find out the hard way, and they're going to be left in that state of confusion. Reading on to verse 30 again, it says, and spake peaceable words unto them. So just like Antiochus, all right, Joe Biden speaking those peaceable words, right? But it was all deceit. For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore and destroyed much people of Israel. So you see, because just when he gets you, man, when Esau gets you where he wants you, man, that's when he's got you. And like the scripture say, man, peace and safety, then sudden destruction, which is ultimately it's all from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, because this is all the program of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, ultimately, right? But this is getting ready. This is what's getting ready to come down, man. All right, destruction, lamentation, and woe. It says, verse 31. It says, and when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire and pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side. But the women and children took they captive and possessed the cattle. And that's what's getting ready to take place, man. People, families are about to get separated, right? Houses are about to be spoiled. Right, women and children are about to become a booty, spoil. Right, this is what's getting ready to take place, man. People getting hauled off into concentration camps and whatnot. So this, like I was saying earlier, man, one thing is going to lead to another, because they know they're going to get a lot of revolt, of rebellion. Right, they know people are going to say the hell with this shit and start acting out. But just a quick something, man, because like I said, man, I mean, there's not much that really needs to be said anymore. But like I said, nevertheless, man, the warnings are going to continue to go out until Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai says otherwise. So like I was saying, man, just later on down the road, man, expect to start seeing more of a military presence, foreign troops, right, checkpoints, all right. People were asking and inquiring for your papers, to see your papers and your immunity papers and whatnot. This is what's set. This is what's in the set future, man. The very near future to come. So, hopefully this was edifying. Once again, I'm gonna give all credit to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And until next time, Lord's will, I say shalom.